Ever wanted to know all about some of the most influential business leaders in the area? I'm going to peel back the layers and see just what makes them tick. We're here with Sarah, and Sarah, you're an interior designer or decorator, and what's the difference between the two?
We are designers, but we decorate. So there's a very big difference between the two. And thanks for asking, because we are constantly educating people on the differences. So how I like to think about it is design is very much a structural form within a home or a commercial space, whatever it may be. So as designers, we look at kitchen design, bathroom design, but we're also looking structurally at moving walls, changing windows and doors. And then decorating is kind of the last layer that gets added to a project. So anything that's loose, the furniture, the artwork, the paint colours, that's decorating. So as interior designers, we still do decorating, but we certainly focus on the function first, then making it look beautiful.
Okay, interesting. So when do you get involved in the design stage? Like what stage do you guys get involved?
I like to be right at the beginning,
Yeah.
so we've got control and have input on relating to the client's brief and making sure it's going to be the best floor plan for our homeowners. But look, we get brought in at all different stages, and I think that is based on people's limited knowledge of interior designers. They think they need to get us in at the end, but I need to be brought in right at the beginning before there's any rough in for the plumbing and electrical, so that we can make sure the function of our floor plan is perfect.
Okay, so I think I found out who Bird Black was. I went to an awards night one night.
Yes.
And you won. It was at
And
the
so did you.
entertainment centre. We did, yes.
Yes.
And that's how I started following you. So
Yeah.
I started saying, okay, what is it about an interior designer or decorator that wins awards? So what's some of the awards that you have won anyway?
Oh, okay. So that was the Illawarra Business Chamber Award
Yeah.
for Young Entrepreneur of the Year. We have won Best Small Business with the Illawarra Women in Business, Best New Business, and we've won Best Young Businesswoman of the Year 2 years in a row.
Okay.
So, and then regarding design, we've won Best Kitchen New South Wales and Best Kitchen Designer for New South Wales as well for the Kitchen and Bathroom Design Institute.
How long have you guys been open for now?
6 years
6
in
years.
June.
Wow, there you
Yeah.
go. So tell me about some of your favourite projects. I've followed you for a long time. I've seen a lot of them, and there's some real standouts. But what are some of your favourites for any reason?
I think, again, like it's not my own personal design style that I'm putting into a client's home. So I think my favourite jobs are when the client trusts us. So whatever style they've got for their home, or whatever the scope of works is, if they trust us, my job's really easy. I don't have to negotiate and educate on every single decision. And I think those jobs pay off in the end when a client sees a before and then the after transformation, and they think, oh my goodness, look what you've created. Like, that's awesome for us.
Yeah, so it's the reveal at the end sort of thing?
Yeah. I don't think there's not a particular key project that I can think of. Like, I've enjoyed all of them for different aspects, but definitely that before and after is definitely awesome.
We only need to look at your Instagram to kind of see some of them. But
Yeah.
Speaking of Instagram and social media, how has that formed a part of your marketing in your own business?
Yeah, we're pretty strong in our social media, so we are posting things every single day, and we take a lot of thought into what we are posting. So as a team, we get together and pre-plan a month in advance of what each day is going to entail that we're providing with our people that are following us. And we've got a really strong focus on educating people. So we have a new series called Design Room, which we launch every Wednesday, and it's about educating people on a specific topic relating to design and trying to break down some of those myths and just making it really accessible and easy for people to understand what we do and the services that we offer.
Okay, so your social media is not just this is happening, I'll post it. It's a clear, defined set tasks that you're actually implementing, is that right?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. So, and look, we interview our team members, we interview our builders, so you're getting like the whole scope of what interior design is. It's not just a small boutique design studio, there's so many other people and elements involved, so we like to showcase all of that.
Yeah, and I think you're humanising it too. You're in front of the camera a lot.
Yes.
So I think your followers are becoming to know who you are, but what sort of, I guess, advice would you give other businesses in the social media platform?
Yep, look, I think be as real as you can. So in our stories, that's me unfiltered. There's nothing fancy about it. And that's really showing sort of the behind the scenes, because people like to see that behind the scenes. There's a lot involved in interior design. It's not just a quick scribble on a paper and voila, here's a beautiful space. There's so much documentation, logistics, ordering, chatting with all the different trades involved that end up producing that final result. So we like to show that behind the scenes, and that can be implemented in any industry. So whatever your business is, you can show that behind the scenes as well.
So from you as a business owner and leader, what advice would you give people that are in the same position and they're probably struggling? What advice would you give as a leader?
You've got to think outside the box, especially in times like this. So whatever your industry is, think about, all right, how can I still bring money in? Whether if you can't physically go out, is there a way that you can transform what you were doing outside of your business to an online platform? And I think so many businesses are doing that really well at the moment.
Agreed. And when you started, so rewind 6 years, six and a half years, what did your business plan look like?
I spent 5 months writing that plan and getting my networking sorted, meeting people, meeting the suppliers and trades that I wanted to work with so that I was prepared when I got my first client through the doors. So I think that plan is to be as detailed as possible and don't rush into it. Don't just have, I've got a great idea, next minute you go out and start your business. No, don't do that. You've got to plan first. So for me, that plan was, spending 5 months every day working on it, getting all my processes ready to go just so it was smooth, the first client I got.
That's good. So a lot of people have no business plan in business.
Yeah,
some succeed,
crazy.
Some don't. So advice around your business planning, obviously you did a lot of it, but what's some of the advice that you can give someone else as far as writing a business plan?
Yeah, look, I don't think, for me, I'm more creative. So for me, writing 10,000 dot points isn't going to work. So I think it's quite an evolving process as well. So how I started the business 6 years ago is probably quite different to where it's ended up now. So I think, yes, you can have somewhat of a plan, but be open to being flexible with that, because you'll learn on every project you have or every client you take in, you'll better yourself each time. And that for us is really important. So whenever we finish a job, we always sit down together as a team and work out, all right, what worked really well, what didn't work really well, so that we can better ourselves for the next project.
Okay, that's really good. So it's all about self-analysing too, isn't it? So and same with your business plan. Is it a detailed business plan, or is it something that you can read easily, or how would you see it?
It's a lot in my head, but a lot, I guess, that we've implemented as well. So throughout our website and our processes for the design process itself is very set in stone, is all written out. And as I said, that is changing. So there's things that we can make more efficient, then we certainly change it and update it as we go.
Okay. Who inspires you?
Oh gosh, look, I think a lot of our visual creativeness comes from nature. I think God's done a pretty epic job with just everything, like the colours of our sunset. Like, we live in an amazing coastline, so we certainly take inspiration from a lot of what we see outside. Inspiration as well for me comes from travelling. So we travel, well, maybe not this year, but every year we try to go somewhere different, and we do stay in really nice hotels. So our bedroom suite design package is often based around, all right, what does it look like to live in luxury, to open your front door at home and feel like you've walked into a haven. So a lot of my inspiration comes from hotels.
Okay, cool. What was your first break? You know that time where you're sort of struggling along, but then you get a big break. Have you had one of those?
I feel like we've been pretty blessed along the whole journey. There's not a significant moment, I don't think. Look, definitely the awards help with getting our name out there, and given that I was from Canberra, so I did not know a single person here when I moved here, so Illawarra Women in Business have been a massive supporter of us, and obviously, showcasing what we do and being just encouragers and supporters of what we do. So they've been awesome along the way.
So clearly for someone watching this, they need to get involved in awards, they need to be seen and recognised.
Yeah, definitely. And you're around like-minded people as well, whether it's, for me, it's definitely not about self-promotion, that's why we join those things, but it's about networking with other people who are in business, who've started off small and, have seen that exponential growth like we have.
For many businesses, they dump a lot of money into marketing. Some don't do any. That's horses for courses. But what have you guys done smarter in your marketing?
Yep, so we don't market really outside of our own internal workings. So I spent a lot of money on our website, and that was during that 5-month period of setting up the business. So making sure that when people Google interior designers, they're going to find us, and our website is really clear, really informative, and showcases our work. So that is a really great way to market. And then our marketing really goes into our social media, our blogs that we write to educate people, and photographing and video, doing walkthroughs of our final product. That's our marketing.
So I'm seeing really rich content, so beautiful photos, great videography.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of blogs and educating people, and great websites. So very digital based.
Yes.
Not a lot of paper based.
Yeah.
Was that something that you really went down that angle on purpose?
Yeah, 100%, because I think that's our market too. Our market is for people who are wanting really good quality homes, beautifully custom designed and built to suit them. So a letterbox drop probably isn't our market for who we're targeting. So for us, it's, let's spend the money on getting professional photography. People want to see that end result. And because our job is so visual, we've got to showcase it the best it can visually.
Yeah. Tell me about the business. Let's peel back the layers of your business. How many staff have you got?
5.
5, okay.
Yep.
And fast forward 2 years from now, how many do you think you'll have?
I'd like to double that.
Yep. Okay.
Which is a big call, because look, we are in Wollongong, and 5 for a design firm, that's the largest there is right now. So that's pretty awesome that we're already, the biggest. But yeah, look, I want to keep getting bigger, but not losing that focus of that eye for detail, and really understanding their client and walking alongside them during the process. So that's really still key for me.
And that's the thing about having a business that goes from small to medium to large. You do lose touch of that. So how do you think you'll be able to change that? So once you double the size, you'll have to be hands off a little bit more. Yeah,
and I think that comes from being a good leader. You've got to mentor your staff.
Very much so.
And it's hard as a person who loves to be in control like me, but you've got to delegate. So for me, I've got to absolutely delegate, and I've got to trust my staff that, I've taught you the best way I can, and I've got to trust that I can nurture you into an amazing designer on your own accord without me having to be by your side every step of the way. So that's what we're doing.
Okay. How do you feel, because you are becoming the face of your business naturally, how do you give your staff that recognition too, that when they walk into a home, it's an extension of you?
Yeah, look, I think, again, on our social media too, so even we're in the middle of a series at the moment where each week we're promoting one of our staff members. We're doing a blog on them, introducing them to everyone else, so their faces are now starting to show in their perspective, areas that they work in the business.
Yep.
And I think it's, like, for example, Rachel, our interior designer, she leads jobs on her own now, so I'm not there every step of the way, but obviously overseeing everything, but she's more than capable of designing beautiful interiors. So I think it's, just allowing people to express their own creativity and run with the project themselves.
So perfect client, what would they look like? Or perfect house, what would that look like to you?
Perfect house? Perfect house has a trusting client that lives inside it. That's my number one.
Yep.
And look, I think someone who's open to new ideas, who is happy to listen to maybe new ways that they haven't thought of, maybe new ways of a functioning kitchen, because you do get a little bit blinded living in the same style of kitchen, the same way you've always done things. So I think people that are open to saying, all right, well, what if we tried this? Will it work better for us? Yes, of course. That's why I'm, suggesting it to you. So I think my dream home is just someone who trusts us in what we're doing. It doesn't really matter about the finishes and fittings to me. Obviously, if it's a great big house, fantastic. But, we still love working on those smaller projects, a single kitchen, single bathroom. Like, I still get joy out of doing that.
So, I mean, for me, it's the same. I sell some pretty fantastic looking homes, but the memorable ones are more about the clients that trust you, like you said, the clients that are really engaging and love the result at the end. And I'm guessing that's the same for you.
That is 100%. Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah, so I guess if you were to live anywhere in the Illawarra, where would you live and why?
We currently live in Farnborough Heights. My next move is going over. So I'd love to live at the top of Mount Kembla. I'd love a little bit of land. That would be my ideal spot. So somewhere tucked away, nestled up in the escarpment, but you're still so close to the city, so everywhere is really accessible. That's why I love the Illawarra.
Well, let's rewind. Let's talk about your first year in business. Was it tough? Was it easy? How did you go?
It was actually pretty good. Yeah. I think, during that time of setting up the business, I realised there was a niche market for what we were offering. I came from a high-end design firm in Canberra, so I knew that's the sort of design I wanted to do when I moved up here. And I found there wasn't really anyone doing that. I met with a lot of business owners, so a lot of the now, back in the 6 years ago, a lot of the new cafes and restaurants that opened, I went and met with those owners and I said, who did your design? Because they had really cool fit outs. And all of them said Sydney or Melbourne designers. Like, they didn't even look in the Illawarra. They completely bypassed it because they just assume, oh, there's no designers here that can do that level of design that we want to do. And I thought, awesome, because that's the level of design that I offer.
Yeah.
So that was kind of easy. And look, my first client came from, I did the home show up at Bowral. I had a little stand in the middle of the freezing cold rain and I picked up my first bathroom design there. And then from there, it just started rolling in. Yeah.
So for people who are watching this, they're thinking, how do I start my own business? Tap into a niche market.
Yeah.
If you're doing what everyone else is doing, then the options are endless. But you've tapped into a market that is generally not here.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I think the Illawarra is oversaturated with, the spec homes. But for me, I really want to get inside my client's head. I want every little detail tailored to suit them. And that's what you get from a bespoke custom designer and builder.
And what do you look for in an employee?
You know what? It's not really even about the creativity to begin with. It's someone who I think will really mould well with me, who has similar values to what the business has, and someone who wants to learn and wants to better themselves. That's who we look for.
Yeah. So someone who gets out each day and wanting to make sure that they're doing the right thing and be able to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's next for Bird Black?
What's next? Oh, look, I think we're certainly moving towards one of our goals, which is on our website that we talk about, is our design school. So that's where, we've started introducing our educational programs via our social media pages. I think the next step is, just continue to educate people about who we are, what design is, and how we can impact their lives for the more positive.
Fantastic. I love this talk. I love talking to you. This is awesome.
Thanks, Trevor.
I've learned a lot. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Trevor.